Verdansk is back, and so is Warzone. Today I want to talk about my first impressions of Season 3 and the reintroduction of the greatest map of all time. We're going to be breaking down some of the movement changes, talking about buy stations, we're going to talk about switching from Rebirth to large map, we're going to talk about a ton of content, both my concerns as well as what I love. What I think they did an absolute phenomenal job was keeping true to the spirit of Verdansk. The map was relatively unchanged. They upscaled it, they made it of a higher quality so that everyone can experience what we all loved about the game. I think they did a beautiful job not tainting that in any way. It was remarkable, really, in just the small amount of games I got to play yesterday. I could not believe all the memories that popped up, and I think that is both nostalgia, and then also while we're playing, I kept asking myself, why did we ever leave this? And I know things had to change, but I definitely enjoy what they did for the most part. Truth be told, it was fun. I had a lot of fun on day one, and I think that's the first time in a long time that I've actually said that about Warzone. And it's kind of a strange feeling because normally we're complaining a lot. We're trying to find ways to improve, and it's just so difficult because the game has put so many barriers in the way. This is what needed to happen, was to hit the reset button. We needed to go back to the beginning, take away all of the new mechanics that we had, and then start building piece by piece based on community feedback. Now, let's hope that they actually do that. Time will tell, but at least in this instance, it feels like they actually listened. Some of the biggest changes that you're going to notice as soon as you boot up the game, if you haven't already, are the movement is a little bit slower. I'm not really sure if that's the greatest idea. I think that was a little bit aggressive, but as a higher than average player, biased with that because I enjoyed the skill gap and movement for what it was. That doesn't mean that lesser skilled players are going to enjoy that though. So I think there's balance there, having room to improve, and I think they're going to tweak some things. They definitely did a great job reintroducing old players to a new system. What I found is that yesterday, although I'm not a predominant large map player, I play pretty much mostly Resurgence. I used to play a lot of Verdansk. I want to play big map after yesterday. And that is such a strange feeling. They actually captured my desire to learn big map strategies like I used to play in that. And that's a very rare thing, again, for its community members. I think there's a lot more room for improvement as a player, and we're still going to be doing Rebirth content on the channels. I know some of you guys are Rebirth only. I put out a poll last week, and don't sweat it. But the large map, it just offers a lot more versatility for a lot of different play styles. You can hot drop, you can land far out in farmland or a dam and work your way through. And we're going to go over a lot of tactics like that on the channel. I really, really like the game sense part of this game and really any strategy. So if you're into building both your gun skill and your game sense skill, this is definitely the place for you. Please subscribe. I won't let you down. I'm going to constantly be pushing the envelope to get you the best content to do that. But one of the other things that I really, really liked that they improved was the buy station. And it seems like such a goofy improvement because they tried to make it too hard. And if you look at the new buy station, it's easy. It's going to take some muscle memory. I bought some plates yesterday instead of, buying a teammate back, and it got me in trouble because I was used to going to that second menu to get what I wanted. But it really is going to be so much simpler. Very clean. I like the buying back of teammates and the redeploy all feature. That is really, really cool when you're going to be in that scenario. And I think with just a little bit of muscle memory training, we'll be able to do those high-speed buys no problem by memorizing how far down. The dedicated melee, I don't know how we didn't have this sooner. It is a lifesaver on large map. It lessens the need, I should say, to slide cancel, and it's fantastic for traversing large areas and getting there. It's so much cooler. And I know that I don't know why we didn't have it sooner. I was super impressed with the lighting that they fixed. There are multiple stairwells in some of those green apartment buildings and in shacks and in corners that was just illuminated like it's never been before. And I was super worried because I saw the rose skin and the battle pass, and I'm like, oh no, we're going to go down Shadow Lane again. I really think they watched all of their P's and Q's with this, and they definitely thought about previous feedback and they worked it out. The absence of exterior zip lines is kind of weird that they didn't put that in there. I think they're still trying to keep the flow of the game in control, which is definitely important. I think that that's something that they lost sight of over the course of the last few iterations, is the flow was off on both big map and small map. There was players that were really, really fast and players that were really, really slow, and the grind to get to the top was just, it became so difficult to keep up with the momentum, and putting all of that strain on vehicles now is definitely going to change the game. So if you're somebody who didn't use a lot of vehicles on Big Mac before, you're definitely going to have to get familiar with them, or somebody on your team is, because I guarantee you it's going to come down to the best wheelman or the best pilot in some of these games. So hop in, try some things out. This is actually a casual game that we were just doing to get a feel for the game. I like to deep dive onto the map and just kind of get reacclimated. Got to enjoy the nostalgic parts without people jumping all over me and constantly being a sweat fest. It was kind of more of a fun beginning just to get reacclimated, and you can jump into that game mode and play with some bots against real players here and there. We do get rolled up on by a team and almost dumpster them here. It's pretty funny, but it's just a lot of fun to experience this all just like we used to have. The map plays extremely well. The cover is there. The open terrain balanced with the buildings is amazing. Reintroducing the sound from Warzone 1 in its own way, at least through sound effects, and they definitely improved the sound engine some. There is always room to improve that. I'm going to leave that here so that nobody quotes me as like, oh, it's perfect. There's always room to improve, but I heard a lot of people coming, and I think that that's going to bode very well for players' awareness as well as their general feel for how the game is giving them a fair advantage when it's necessary. And here we get rolled up by a team, and like as I watched this back, I had bouncing Bettys, and I should have used them. It would have been a fantastic way to reintroduce people to that explosion, but the gunplay is pretty good. The guns are actually really, really good, and I think that they did a great job reintroducing classic weapons and the sounds. I think that they just sound absolutely amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun to retrain your brain to fight in and out of vehicles and using vehicles in the end game, and so much fun. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. I think they did a really good job. When it comes to the Gulag, I'm kind of impressed. They didn't change too much. I'm not sure if we had plates back in Warzone 1 in the Gulag. I can't remember. I thought it was 2. I know it just seemed like it took forever to kill people in the Gulag, especially when they kept back and you have short magazines. This, in its current state right now, I'm a huge fan of. Just your health bar and your ability to get on target. I like that they brightened the Gulag. I really think that was one of my biggest complaints about the old one, is no matter how much I had my settings cranked, I couldn't see people sometimes. The sound is phenomenal. The nostalgia's there, and it's all brain game 1v1. I'm all for it. I think if they leave that as is, with just the flag in the center, if somebody wants to camp out, no zip lines, no cash, none of that other stuff, you come back, and then that's the way it should be. Speaking of which, that's the only way you can come back on Big Map Verdansk right now, is you win your Gulag or you get bought back. There's no Gulag tokens. You cannot re-enter. There may be a jailbreak. That's the only thing I think you can get in the game with right now. But in all seriousness, I found the flow to be really, really good. I found that there was enough time to loot, and then there was action. Then there was enough time to regain, and there was action. I think that that's super important in a battle royale. A lot of Rebirth players are going to say that it's not for them, and that's okay. But trying this out, just try it out in a casual mode and see how much of a different game it really is. It really, really speaks volumes how new but familiar this felt, and it was just refreshing how much I enjoyed it. I could go on and on about this. I just really wanted to let you guys know my thoughts and impressions on it. I think that they're going to have to tweak some movement. I think vehicles are going to need a little bit of speed balance. I think guns are going to need balance. These are all normal Warzone issues that are very, very fixable. But sound is there, connection is there, playability is there. I think we are back. And a lot of people are going to wear that phrase out. But in all seriousness, the issues that I found from yesterday were very small. And I think that the resurgence side is going to suffer a lot more, because I did pop into Rebirth and check out a couple games of that, and the pacing is definitely off with the speed. So I know that they had to do something. I think they need to find a happy medium. Maybe they're going to turn the speed back up on everybody when we get comfortable and through some community feedback. So make sure, comment down below, let me know what you think, so that maybe somebody at Activision will start to see the input of some of its player base to see where we're going. I think that this is a thumbs up to Activision. They're going in the right direction, and positive feedback is going to get us to the game that we actually want. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned, because I'm going to have in-game scenarios for you. We're going to even probably dabble with some loadouts here once I get my feet wet, and I got a lot of content just for you. Thanks for watching. Like I always say, keep building, keep adapting. Sit rep out.